you have spent a large chunk of your time playing in Delhi, but then when you later in your teenage years, when you moved to when you went to visit your family in Bengal, you were roped in to play the Moinuddin tournament as well for Bengal. So you're one of the few people who can actually answer this question truthfully. Both states have such rich historic legacies of state cricket. They're both such institutions. Delhi is known to be quite cutthroat, quite aggressive. Bengal has one of the richest, oldest legacies in state cricket as well. So let me ask you about the general state of state cricket in both these states. What was the competition like? What are some of the similarities and differences? Are the stereotypes true? What are some things that stood out to you both from Delhi state cricket and Bengal state cricket?
Well, very different approach to cricket. You know, Bengal always, I mean, Delhi, like you said, was a little more cutthroat, and it was not only tough, but at times you would get disillusioned, as in what's happening, because there's a lot. I mean, the dynamics are so different, at least were back then with
Yeah.
Delhi cricket, um, and obviously, I mean, the quality of cricket, obviously, because there was a lot, they would play a lot more cricket back in Bengal. When I came back, I mean, there was a culture shock because of the weather. Predominantly, you couldn't play. I mean, in Delhi, a lot of the local cricket is hot weather cricket when you play during the summer, June,
Mhm.
July, and that's that time, because the monsoon's not that long
Yeah.
in that part of the country. But you in Bengal, you would have to stop and not play cricket for at least 4 months. So you would lose a chunk of the year to the weather. Right? You could only start from October. So in the end, you ended up playing only limited number of games. In Delhi, you would play a game every day. So I mean, literally in a year, you would be playing 200 games. And because you would play so much of cricket, one, your cricket sense would develop very differently. Uh, you could afford to make a lot more mistakes. You weren't bothered if you not score in 2 games because you're playing 198 more games. But in Bengal, when I came in, I figured out I've got only limited number of games in a season. I can only play 30 odd games max. So
Mhm.
every innings became that much more important. You were so you kind of so my game also changed from being a very flamboyant kind of a player to kind of a safe player. So because when you're playing 200 games, you're not bothered if you get out early. You still got tons of games coming through. So you would play more fearlessly. But then when I moved to Bengal, because the sheer number of games reduced drastically, you would be a little more careful. Every innings meant a lot. So you won't play that freely. So first few years, it was like that. And then I realized, it's not that simple. You got to focus every innings. You got to do things differently. So obviously, the way I played, my cricketing mindset kind of changed as well. So I think that is a major difference. And because of that, a lot of things affect. For example, you're more outspoken. You're more. I mean, I guess that's not just about cricket. In general, also, again, I'm kind of generalizing that way, but you're more outspoken. Um, you're more upfront. In maybe in Bengal cricketing circles, you're uh, a little more introvertish, if I may say so. Um, so those were the major differences, and those are major differences. I mean, that's the reason in terms of talent, I'd say equally good both states have been over the years, even now. But there's a reason why you have more cricketers, international cricketers coming out of Delhi than Bengal is kind of Bengal being underachievers over the years. And the mindset is for me the major reason behind it.
Who would have thought the weather would be such an important factor in shaping the type of cricketers that come out? Yeah, well, the Bengal players are a bit more assured, a bit more conservative, as a Delhi cricketers, like you mentioned, a bit more flamboyant. You mentioned the cutthroat nature of Delhi state cricket. Why do you think that is? And do you think that is still like a sustainable aspect of state cricket? Because it does churn out some really exceptional cricketers as well.
So that also, I mean, that also becomes your filtering process. Yeah, I mean, there are cracks. I mean, like anywhere else, there are cracks, and a lot of good talent fall through those cracks. But it doesn't affect that much because the sheer number of players or people playing the sport. So yeah, but I mean, listen, it's unfortunately there are really good talent who fall through the cracks as well, and I've seen that over the years. And the reason of Delhi cricket being a little more cutthroat is, okay, it's not, maybe Bengal cricket is a little more organized because you have clubs, you got to play for a club the whole season, you got to play for one club, you can't move over. So if you're not playing well, if you get dropped, your season is gone. Right. So you can't move clubs. So only next season. So if you don't choose which has happened with me, a couple of years, I chose a club which I shouldn't have at that age. And I just played 7, 8 games in the whole season. Right. But in Delhi, what happens is it's all tournament based. So you can play for an X team in a A tournament. In B tournament, you can play for a different club. So you end up playing a lot more games. So there are a lot more players involved. There's a lot more cricket happening. So, for example, in Bengal, you have, at least back then, there used to be 5 tournaments, right? And you could only play for that one club. And there was the league, there was the one day, and maybe 3, 4 tournaments, right? And that was it. But in Delhi, there are hundreds of tournaments. There are private tournaments which are being played. So the number of cricketers are huge. So now, if you look at Bengal cricket, so you've got, if I'm not wrong, and I might be, so roughly around 118 odd clubs, first division, second division. So if you take that 118 clubs, oh no, what am I saying? It's a lot less than that. I think 70, 80 clubs, sorry, something like that. So if you multiply by, let's say, 15 or 17, 18 kids, so that's the number of cricketers we're talking about. Yes, you go to the district, you have district teams, you have more. But I'm just saying Delhi itself, there are hundreds of clubs, small, big, major, small, whatever, playing hundreds of tournaments. So the number of players, the pool, the talent pool is huge.
Mm-hmm.
End of the day, you're going to be, they're only going to be 15 guys playing for the state Ranji Trophy, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, in the squad. Same for Bengal as well. But the number and the pool is so huge in Delhi, and hence, the cutthroat and everything else. And yeah, Delhi cricket is not just about Delhi. So everyone from UP, Punjab, Chandigarh, all these guys, they all come and play there. From Jharkhand, they come and play, right? So it's not just about guys who are only playing for Delhi. So everyone, you can name all the UP Ranji Trophy guys are people who've played for India from UP. They've all played Delhi cricket, local cricket. Okay? So it's not just about Delhi, it's all about the surrounding area as well.